Here's the thing. Money is your servant. It is literally meant to serve you. It is meant to do your bidding. But we have not been programmed that way, but it's the truth. And as soon as you realize that and get that in your spirit, everything changes when it comes to money. It's your favorite Dr. Honey, Dr. Faith Abraham, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're talking about how to use your faith to get over money blocks and help you to make more money. Most people aren't making the type of money that they want to make. They're in the rat race. They are in this place mentally and spiritually that has it the opposite way around, to where they're chasing money instead of money chasing you. Like, you shouldn't be chasing money. Money should be chasing you. It's like a kid. If you go and you start chasing after a kid and you're like, I'm gonna get you, guess what's gonna happen? That kid is gonna like bolt. They're gonna run away. Why? Because they think you're playing. They're running away from you because you're chasing them, right? But as soon as you stop and you're like, I can't see you, I'm not, worried about you, because you know they're gonna come to you because you're playing, guess what happens? That kid starts making their way like, oh, what can I do to get their attention? What can I do so they'll interact and engage with me? It's literally like how it works when it comes to money. But here's the first thing that you have to know. You can learn, and by all means, learn the habits. Like, you need to have habits for good spending. One of the things I used to do all the time was I used to spend money before I got money. Major no-no. Like, I would have this plan. Oh, I'm going to buy this thing when I get money. Oh, I'm going to do this when I get money. Oh, I'm going to do this. And literally what I was doing was spending before the money came in, which now made it like I was constantly playing catch up and I was constantly like going after all these things versus doing the things like Nigerians say, cutting my coat according to my cloth, which basically means budgeting. Yes, I want this thing, but is it something I want or is it something I need? Is it something that I can do without, or is it just an emotional buy, an emotional spend? Something I saw somewhere on someone, oh, that looks so cute, I'm going to get that for myself because I know it's going to look good on me. Like that kind of thing. I was spending before the money even came in, which caused me to start having to play catch up with myself, which now allowed a lot of debt accumulation. And part of the reason why I was doing that is because of the bad habits. I didn't have a budget. I just ran away from numbers. Like, I really didn't want to know how much it cost because I pretty much knew I didn't have it, but I wanted it. And I just closed my eyes to the reality of the situation, which takes me to number 2. You cannot be emotional when it comes to money. You and money should be a neutral thing. The problem is when we're kids, we're programmed to think about money as a emotional thing, or we've attributed emotions to money that now makes it very difficult for us to engage with it in a powerful way versus in an emotional way. So when we hear stuff like, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, why are you asking me for money? We don't have that. We don't do that. Like, when there's always this emotional response to you when you were asking for money or when you were doing things that required money when you were growing up, you've been programmed. You've been programmed in a way to look at money like it's something emotional, like it's something that is off limits. And so the more something is like off limits to you, it tells you and communicates to your brain like, this is not something we have. This is not something that's normal to us. This is not something that we should get used to. So when you start operating that way and your brain is functioning from that place, it's very difficult to have money just flow to you and you become a money magnet, because there's already friction between you and money. It's just too much friction. It's all this emotion. It's just like when you're in a relationship with someone and you're trying to have a conversation and have good dialogue. As soon as like you just let your emotions start flowing and going, and they start letting their emotions flow, then all the insults start flying and all this stuff starts going, and there's no more communication because there's too much negative emotion really that's in the midst of that conversation. So even when you're communicating with money, there's so much emotion tied to the money that it's like, that's okay, I'll just go over here. You want to cut off the emotions. Money is neutral. Money is neutral. So if your emotion towards money is, oh, it's this thing I have to have, and there's this like aggression, and it's like, oh, like how come I never have it, or how come they always have it, and how come rich people are always this and wealthy people, and then when you're on you're scrolling on your timeline, you're like, I don't care, that's emotion. Like that's all negative emotion that you're attributing to money, and you're attributing to that lifestyle, but that's the lifestyle you want. So you have to stop contradicting yourself. Like you have to get to a place where you can see somebody that's wealthy, and as you're making your way to that wealth, what you now have to do is say, psych yourself out and say, yes, welcome to the wealthy side. Welcome to the wealthy life. Like, yes, this is what we do. We customize and trick out our cars. You know, we set up a beautiful home and space for our kids. We eat gluten-free over here, honey. We are vegan over here. Like, whatever your thing is, you have to start talking like that and being like that even before the money comes. You literally have to become the wealthy person, the wealthy woman on the inside first before the wealth comes on the outside. And so having those conversations out loud when you're scrolling is better than having the silent conversations within yourself that just is filled with negative emotion, that is in conflict with money, and reiterates the belief systems and the value systems that you probably don't even realize that you have when it comes to money. So you have to start speaking and saying something different, which means you have to know what you want to do with that money. You have to know what your future self with money looks like, so that you can start showing up as that person. Like a lot of my clients will sit there and say, yeah, I want more money. I want to make more money. Okay, what are you going to do with it? The silence is so loud. Like, oh, well, you know, I'm going to travel and I'm going to, you know, blow up my business and I'm going to do this. Okay, get specific. Give me specifics. Specify what you're going to do with that money. Well, you know, no, I don't know. And obviously, you don't know either. Because if you did, you could give me specifics. You can tell me exactly what you're going to do when that money comes. You can tell me the lifestyle you're going to live. This is why vision boards are so powerful. They're so powerful. Write the vision and make it plain so that he who sees it can run with it. When you see where you're going, it's like a visual reminder. It's telling your brain, hey, this is where we're going. This is what we're doing. This is our future. This is us, right? And then you can communicate that. Now you're at a different level. Like you're in a whole nother place now, because now you have literally succinctly described and defined where you're going, and it makes it easier for you to get there. 2022 was such an awesome year for me. I traveled to 3 different countries that I had never visited before. I had great experiences each and every time. I had 5-star luxury experiences each and every time. I was treated like a queen, the queen that I am, honey. Let's get it together, okay? Let's make it crystal clear. It was like my dream life that I had prayed for, I had asked for, I had been believing for, I had on my vision board for years, like all came together. And it started me on something where I'm like, no, every year I must go to a place, a country that I've never been before. I have to have that new experience. And I'm not going to wait for someone to invite me. I'm just going to make the trip. I'm just going to make it happen for myself, period. What was I doing though? I was saying this stuff when I would see stuff on Instagram, when I would see stuff on YouTube. I'm like, yes, girl, do you feel that sun? Do you feel that warmth? Because the beach is our place, okay? And we are just having a good time. We are fit in shape. We are wearing that bikini, honey. We are enjoying ourselves, and we are with people who love us and adore us, and we love them and adore them. We are 5-starring it out. People just are obsessed with us, and we are just experiencing this life like on another level. Like, it's so good. I was romanticizing those trips, my travel, before I traveled. I was putting myself in a position to be comfortable and feel safe with money and being treated like a queen and having 5-star treatment, which leads me to the last point. And this is how you're really going to use your faith to overcome those blocks and those limiting beliefs. You have to use your words, and you have to believe that you're going to get there. Like, stop putting all these time markers on everything. And even if you do put a time marker, do yourself a favor and make it a fluid time marker. Like, I'm in my 40s right now. There's stuff that I saw for myself in my 20s that I'm just now seeing, and in my late 30s as well. If I would have put a timestamp on it and I would have given up on it, I don't know if it would have came to pass. I would not be enjoying life the way I'm enjoying it right now. And that would absolutely suck, because I had to use my faith and just keep believing that even though I wasn't seeing what I was wanting, I knew it was for me. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. I believed it in. I believed hard. Like, there's no way I'm leaving this earth without certain things happening for me, to me, and in my life. That was faith, like unmovable, unbreakable faith. And if it didn't happen that one year, no problem. It wasn't meant for that year. It's meant for next year. And I would just move it, and I would just move it, and I would just move it. Why? Because I wasn't like being super duper tight with timelines, because I know all things work together for good, and God's timing is the best. And so it was really the best for things to work out for me the way they did. But I had to have faith, even back when in my 20s, when stuff wasn't happening, that I would live to see. And there's many things that still haven't happened yet, and I'm not going to be taken out before my time. I'm not going anywhere. Those things have to happen before Jesus calls me home. And that's on period. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. And that's on a good amen and amen. Okay? Like, that is my conviction. How does this deal coincide with breaking beliefs? Because when you now use your faith and you start using these emotions, like, you have to use your emotions in the right way. And I have a video on that, so I'll put it in the description box so you can see it. But when you start using your emotions to reprogram and retrain your brain on what it is that you're meant to see, what you're created for, realizing that you're made from a place of abundance, you'll be surprised at the astronomically fantastic, phenomenally crazy, amazing, miraculous things that happen for you. Now, let me know in the comments which one you're really going to stand on. Like I said, the habits are good, but never forget that if you don't have the habits plus the reprogramming and the reframing and using your faith to accelerate all of that, then it's going to be really hard for you. You're going to constantly be in this struggle with money. But when you use those 3 elements, you're going to see a lot of great things happen for you. All right, guys, if you like this, make sure you like, subscribe so you don't miss another video. And I'll put another video on the screen.